Martins.
Okay, people, part two. Enough of the beautiful Arsenal boys, even though we can stay there forever. Mike is just getting warmed up. Look at him getting warmed up. So now the next one is very simple. And you have to pick one person. There's no sitting on the fence. There's no blah, blah, blah. We all know we're coming to the end of an era of Messi and Ronaldo. For the first time, I think that's both of them are not in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Blah 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 blah. When we say coming to the end of an era, is obviously those guys that still have a class. But now it looks like the next big boys that everybody's talking about, or the new powerhouses in the game, is Mbappe and Haaland. Now it's a very simple question. Personally, I don't know. I don't really see the comparisons simply because they're two very different players. However, the world of football wants us to compare them, wants us to put them against each other, and I like it because we like rivalries. So, pretty simple. Dwayne, Aston Villa miraculously qualifies for the Champions League. You get some money, and they say you need to buy one of these players. Who would you buy and why?
Very simple. You buy Mbappe because he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play through the middle.
He still
That's
doesn't.
it.
He still doesn't give you as much of the goals, though. He gives you goals.
Only because he's not playing through the middle as much as the likes as Haaland is playing at the present moment in time. I do believe Mbappe will eventually end up going through the middle, but at the moment he's too scary coming in from the left-hand side. He's too scary coming in from the right-hand side. I love watching him. I absolutely love watching this guy because his left foot, his right foot, it's scary. This guy coming at you. You've heard me talk many times about being a defender against him. It's scary, man. This guy's coming at you. He's gonna go on your left hand side. He's gonna make you look like a foolish fool. He's gonna come on your right hand side. The guy's powerful as well. My guy eats serious pounded yam as well. You know he does, right? This guy is ridiculous. I'm telling you for free. My guy has to win World Player of the Year at some point.
But he was.
No, there's no comparison, man. There's no comparison.
What do you mean? There's no comparison. That is for okay.
No,
so
there's not. There's not.
That is you as the Villa manager, Mike. If you're using a team like Arsenal and you have to play those guys, and you have to let's say you have to actually play Mbappe in one position. So and between you have Mbappe and Haaland, you have money. Arsenal miraculously qualifies for the Champions League.
this guy.
And then you have to buy one of them players. Who would you buy? I mean, I understand that they play differently, blah 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 blah. But who would you buy? Mbappe?
Nah, but that talk. It's Mbappe in it. Let's not get silly. Yeah.
So are you saying Haaland doesn't have a chance at all?
Mate, first of all, you asked me for the way Arsenal play, right? It's gonna be Mbappe because he would suit the way Arsenal play, left, right, center. Who's a better striker? I don't know because Mbappe can do it all. But I would play Mbappe down the middle rather than Haaland. Mate, Mbappe just beast, mate. I don't even know why I know why they compare because they're young players and that, but ultimately, even if you're playing FIFA, you ain't gonna pick Haaland. You're gonna buy Mbappe. Yeah.
FIFA,
Come on, bro.
Please, Steve, bring a different perspective to this because these guys are the way I look at it is when people call these players. For example, when people used to compare Messi and Ronaldo, people always used to look at it as, oh, one is more talented, one is naturally gifted. Messi does that, Ronaldo works hard. With Mbappe and Haaland, I think the same thing is being said here. People are looking at, oh, overall, who's a better player? And these guys they've both mentioned they'll play Mbappe down the middle. And Haaland plays down the middle possibly better than anybody else right now. Would you pick Mbappe over Haaland, especially playing anybody down the middle?
I'd pick Mbappe because he's a more complete player. It gives me more options in my side. Yeah. Haaland, Mbappe can make a team. Haaland needs the team.
Okay. Yeah. And are you saying
that?
I mean, they have taken Dwayne to church there, like. So are you saying? So what you guys are saying? So okay, I've given you specific teams. I gave you each of you your own team. Now, if we're looking at, and the truth of the matter is, at least for now, maybe in the future, those guys will not go anywhere near these clubs that we've just mentioned. They would, I mean, they would even go on.
Yeah, not in this lifetime.
I mean, they wouldn't even go on a tour. But but now in reality, there are possibly only 3 or 4 clubs that can get Haaland. Real Madrid, sorry, they can get both. So Real Madrid, Man City. Let's throw in there Barcelona.
Man United.
No, I don't want to use PSG because Mbappe already plays for PSG. So let's go.
Man United. You got to choose Man United as well.
Both of them. You're joking.
Okay, so let's go.
Both in the same side?
No, not both.
Oh, yeah, one or the other. Yeah, cool.
So Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, Man United can get one of these guys to come to their team. Now, let's go one by one. Let's look at this. Forget about you think one is a killer all round. Now let's start with Real Madrid. Who would Real Madrid go for if you are the manager? Mbappe or Haaland? Looking at the players that they have.
But is it about the manager at Real Madrid though? It's not really, isn't it? It's about Galacticos things and that, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they're both Galacticos now.
But who's been looking at Mbappe for longer? Madrid or Barca?
Madrid.
I think what was it? 4 clubs you said, isn't it? Real Madrid, Chelsea, Man City, Man United.
Yes.
I think out of those clubs, 2 of them take Haaland. That's Man City.
It'll be cheaper as well.
Right. Man City will take Haaland over Mbappe because they have so much other quality in their side. They just need a man that's going to be up there to kill the goals. Yeah. And Chelsea's pretty similar. Yeah. But the others, I think they would take Mbappe and build a team around him.
So you say Man City will take Haaland, and who else?
Chelsea.
Man City and Chelsea will take Haaland, and the rest will take Mbappe.
Yeah.
Okay. And
build
Mike,
a side around him.
I think you share those thoughts.
Yeah. Indeed.
Okay. So, Dwayne? Same?
Man City, they've got to replace Aguero. Yep, so Haaland. Man United, I'm sorry, Martial is not a number 9. Just not a number 9. Cavani's going to have to go. He's going to have to be replaced. So Haaland. Who are the other teams? Real Madrid.
Real Madrid and Chelsea.
Real Madrid take Mbappe because, as I said before in a previous show, Benzema is just like Drogba. You just don't replace him. I don't care who you are. And Chelsea, yeah, I agree with Steve and Mike 100%. They've got to take Mbappe. I mean, Haaland as well.
So if Real Madrid actually gets a fit Hazard back, you think they'll still take Mbappe?
Yes.
Yes. They don't care.
Man,
I don't think you'll see the Hazard that you saw at Chelsea again.
No, you won't. You won't.
You need that paella too much. It's done for, mate. It's finished.
Do you know what? I don't understand the situation with Hazard because Hazard is being kicked all over the place when he's playing, and he's not bouncing up the way that he did in the Premiership. You know,
I just don't think he's happy. I don't think he's as happy. I don't think he's as happy as he was at Chelsea. At Chelsea, he was the man. He was the main guy. And then we've seen it before where players move to a club and then you're not the big fish and then you're not happy and things, niggling injuries start happening and then your vibe is just not the same. And I think that's what's happened to Hazard.
Yeah, and also I agree 100%. He's not the main guy there. You know, he's used to getting the ball left, right, and centre. You know, they don't play wide. You know, that's not their game. That's Barca's game. You know, they play through Toni Kroos, through Casemiro, through Modric, and what have you. So, you know, him being out there, it's kind of a waste. You know, it's not his fault. It's just Real Madrid's game.
Great. So Real Madrid straight swap plus cash for Mbappe and Hazard. Hazard goes to PSG. Mbappe comes to Real Madrid.
It would work. It would work. You know, for whatever reason, and this is strange, Mbappe forces himself into the game. So if you put Mbappe on the right-hand side where Hazard is currently fighting it out right now with Vinicius Jr., I guarantee Mbappe's still going to get more of the ball. and I guarantee you, he's still going to bang in the goals that he gets. You know, so I don't know. It's almost like Mbappe. You know that animal instinct, like he just.
It's like Henry. He reminds me of Henry, to be honest.
He's got options in it, because when you look at Mbappe, he can come short, get the ball, link up in the play, do quick 1-2s. He can go long, run onto a through ball. So he's got more options. People at Hazard they're kind of limited because they must get the ball and dribble and run with it, do quick 1-2s. But he's not going to bomb in behind the fullback. So if you put him out on the wing, it's not happening.
I mean, Mbappe has had some wonderful performances. I remember the World Cup where he dribbled Marcos Rojo from
I was just about to say, yeah.
He dribbled the guy from the halfway line. I mean, Rojo was at the 18 box, but Mbappe dribbled him for the halfway line and got a penalty. Just to tell you, but then,
yeah, but it's funny you say that. Yeah, because like Hazard did a similar thing, you know, and funny enough, it was the goal against Arsenal. I remember, I think it was Coquelin who like bounced off him, you know, and it's one of those things where Hazard can do it, but you're not going to see it consistently.
In the Chelsea shirt.
That was Hazard. That was Hazard of before. Oh, and I remember Coquelin being a gymnast. He threw like 2 front flips.
Yeah, but Hazard's game hasn't changed. His game hasn't changed. But I don't know what's wrong.
Forget Hazard for now. If it Hazard, maybe we could throw him in the argument if he ever gets that fit. But I'm looking. So I've seen other games where Mbappe, as wonderful and scary as he can be, I've seen him just be ordinary. For example, the Champions League final against Bayern Munich. Bayern knew that all this guy is going to do is going to press hard on us. The defenders matched him for pace. He was lost in that game. I've seen some other games. I mean, PSG is not doing wonderfully well in the league. They lost to Nantes this last time. They've been losing some home games that they shouldn't lose. Now, when you look at long term in terms of the problem with players like Mbappe and pace and yes, he is, how old is Mbappe now? Is that what, 20?
21.
He's 21.
20 or 21.
20 or 21. So when we look at long term, I mean, you mentioned Henry, Mike, and one of the things that Henry had, apart from being a great player, one of the players, never got injured. Hardly ever. There was no chance. So I'm looking at the long term here. Haaland is what, 19, 20? 19, 20. And a lot of people mentioned the fact that, okay, so he has gone to Dortmund, he has wonderful supply, so that's why he's scoring goals. But then when he was in Norway, I don't know how much supply he was having there, but he was still scoring goals. And he still scores goals for Norway when he plays. But if you look at it long term, so let's look 5-6 years. Do you still see Mbappe being on top of his game, even better than Haaland, and being all around? Because the older he gets, he'll pick one position. He's not going to be dropping and doing all that for like 5-6 years.
But for me, it depends on how he manages. It depends on how he manages his career and the managers that he gets. Henry was blessed in the time when he came from Juventus to Arsenal, worked with Wenger, and that allowed him to become the player that he was. He had the raw talent, yes, but it was because he had the right manager, right team for a long period of time. And Mbappe needs to have the same kind of luck. You need the right manager, right team where you can stay for years, and he will get better than what he is now. Haaland will consistently score goals. He's one of those guys. Yeah, like a Lewandowski. They will just consistently score goals without grabbing lots of headlines.
Yep.
In doing it, but he'll be consistently 20-25 goals, league goals a season. I'm pretty sure by that. But as a player, will I see him change his game and get back? He probably still be doing the same thing. Whereas Mbappe, with the right manager, right nurturing, and he doesn't get too big-headed, mate, the world's his oyster. I don't see anyone. Where have you got Ronaldo and Messi as a comparison in the generation that's just passed? Mbappe doesn't have that. He's head and shoulders above his competition.
He's got a sucker. No, I'm joking. So, but wait, won't Haaland just basically go to Bayern? Why would he not just go to? How old is Lewandowski, by the way?
How old? 32.
How old is Lewandowski?
32.
32.
So why would he not just go to Bayern?
I think he might end up in Bayern, but I don't think it'll be an immediate swap. I think Lewandowski probably has another 2-3 years.
2 years.
I'll give him one more year. One more year for Lewandowski.
I can see Haaland going abroad because there's more clubs that can probably grab him nowadays and entice him away from Germany because he's not German. So
yeah, but now it's Lewandowski. He's Polish.
Yeah, but the link to me, how long's he been in German football? Lewandowski was in German football for a while before he went to Bayern.
He was also at Dortmund, wasn't he? Where was he?
Yeah, he was at Dortmund. Yeah, he was at Dortmund. So he was in Germany, but Haaland just come from Norway the other day. So he's not saying he was brought up in German football and I'd expect him to stay. I just think, yeah, he's more likely than someone like Lewandowski to leave German football and come to something like the Premiership.
So Steve leaves Mbappe's head and shoulders above everybody else. Dwayne thinks there's no comparison. Mike also thinks there's no comparison to Mbappe.
I didn't say there's no comparison. I'm sure there is one. I just can't think of anybody right now. Hold on, why are we just discounting Neymar like he doesn't exist?
No, because Neymar's 28. Yeah, the youngsters. Yeah. So we're talking about Mbappe's what 20. You're talking people that's 2021 now.
You see,
and I can't see anyone.
Saka, consistency.
You could put two. You could probably put both of them together, mate, and they ain't happening.
Boy, you can. You see. That's the thing. This is the thing, and this is what I'm going to ask. I think there's a lot of us English Premier League fans don't appreciate a lot of players we have in this league. If Foden and Saka were Spanish, different ball game. Exactly. I think you look at them in a very different light.
Ask George.
I think if Foden, it's not even if they were Spanish. I think if they were playing abroad, so people like Sancho, Bellingham, their games, the fact that they're playing abroad. He's in Leicester. He's in Leicester. What happened to you? I think the young English players that have gone abroad for the last couple of seasons, they're learning a lot, and I think technically they're going to be a lot better, and they'll go on.
I was going to say, but the old English saying, isn't it? But can he do it on a Monday night in Bolton or whatever? So there's a lot of players that have been doing bits, and when they come to the Prem, they just can't hack it.
I think they will do, because the fact that they started in the Prem. So someone like Bellingham now got to.
No. So I'm talking about Haaland and
Mbappe. Okay, I get you.
Yeah. I think Haaland's more suited to the Prem. Mbappe should be, but no, depending what team goes to.
Well, first of all, I don't think Haaland should go to Chelsea because they have a habit of breaking strikers.
Yep.
I don't think
they haven't had a good one for Drogba.
Other than Drogba. Well, some people argue and say Giroud has been all right for them, but in terms of that,
but he came with that too.
Yeah, but in case of that top player, no. Anyway, moving on, since everybody has pretty much told me Haaland is crap compared to Mbappe. Just to end it, there's a lot of we're talking about appreciation here, and the game against Arsenal Tottenham, what that showed me is that a lot of managers, which I believe if they don't have money and top talent, won't be able to do much. And I've always had this debate if Mourinho would be one of them, if he didn't have money and blah, blah, blah. So now what I want to talk about is there are 4 managers I'm going to call, and I want you to try and pick out which one you think would actually win the league if they had resources and money. Sean Dyche. What's the Villa's manager's name? Help me out.
It's the most English name in the world. It's called
Dean Smith. Dean Smith.
Okay. Smith. So there's Sean Dyche, Dean Smith, Roy Hodgson, and what's his name? Why do I keep forgetting everybody's name? What's the Brighton manager's name?
From Brighton.
Yes.
Graham Potter.
Yeah, him.
Potter.
So you have Dean Smith, you have Sean Dyche, you have Roy Hodgson, and you have Potter. That's Potter, right?
Yeah, Potter.
Sorry, yeah, Potter. So out of these 4 managers, right resources given, let's say they're giving Man City, which one do you actually think could possibly win the league? Because I feel they're doing a miracle with the teams that they have. Especially, I personally will go for Sean Dyche, number one, if he's given the time and resources. But out of those four managers, who do you think would actually do a better job with time and resources? Because if you look at
do a better job out of the four of them, or just
a better job out of the four of them.
Who are you going to?
I'm going for Sean Dyche, personally.
No. Who are you asking?
Okay. Oh yeah, that's true. I'll start with you, Dean Smith lover. I'll start with you.
Right. Well, for me, it's no debate. Right. If we're talking about time and resources, it's going to be Roy Hodgson. The reason why I'm going to choose Roy Hodgson, and a big factor, is his history. Okay. Before, we've spoken about managers and being able to draw players. Okay. When he was at Internazionale a few years ago, we're going back a bit now. Okay, my guy was able to draw players. He will be able to draw players to the club to further Man City than the likes of Graham Potter, Sean Dyche, and Dean Smith. If I said to you, you're going to go play for Sean Dyche, you're going to be like, for what reason? To go play with Chris Wood? No, thank you. Still talking. Wait. Right? So what I'm basically saying is, with Roy Hodgson, with his history, with the amount of clout that he has in bringing players in, I'm taking Roy Hodgson. There's no way I'm taking anyone else. I can't take Dean Smith. No way. That's stupid.
Well, he's your manager.
Yeah, but I've got to think about the four. You know, if I've got Roy Hodgson at Aston Villa, I know my guy can still pull some serious plugs right now and bring in some serious ballers from around Europe. Dean Smith can't do that. There's a reason we've got the likes of Ollie Watkins and John McGinn. You forget John McGinn come from Hibs, for 2 million. Ollie Watkins come from Brentford. Now, I'm not saying they don't suit our style. It's brilliant what he's done. But if we had the likes of Hodgson and the clout that he has around Europe and the respect that he has, we're bringing in better players than that.
But then it still boils down to the club, though. So if Sean Dyche is the manager of Man City, and let's say Pep leaves and they bring Sean Dyche in, or any of these four that we've mentioned, and they bring any of them in, a lot of players will still be attracted by the fact that it's Man City, the money, and they're playing, Champions League football. So you've
got to want to play. You've got to want to play under the manager as well. Okay, so if you bring in someone like Hodgson, who is known for his defensive tactics, we already know Man City can score goals left, right, and centre, right? Man City right now have arguably one of the best defenses in the Premiership.
Like one of them uncles. What's in your nose?
I think, you know what? I'm leaning forward too much. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm literally on the edge of my seat.
He's excited.
Right? So I'm excited straight up. Right?
Who do you go for? Who do you go for, Mike?
You know what?
I don't know, man.
I'm going to tell you that. Just cool down, man. I'm thinking about what's his face, Graham Potter. Thinking about Graham Potter. Because I'm liking the way that Brighton have been playing. That Mbappe, sometimes they make him look like Mbappe, man, doing a over every second. I feel like he has a style of play, and he could take that style of play on. If he had better players, he could do more. I think him. I mean, Sean Dyche would, and also, can I just add, they're all different types of manager. So actually, they could all probably do well, but the team that they produce would be completely different. Sean Dyche and Hodgson arguably quite defensive managers, so they'd be a hard 1-0 team to beat, sort of thing. I don't think we're playing flowing football. Dean Smith and the other geezer have more expansive attacking football. So it's almost like they're different types of managers. So for me, I'd pick Graham Potter, to be fair, because I just like the way that Brighton are moving. If they're better players, boy, I don't know. I think they could do bits. But
they could be playing a defensive-minded game based on the players they have. For example, if you see Burnley against Everton this weekend, they were attacking and balling and doing all that kind of thing. Everybody was saying, "Oh, long ball team." There was nothing close to a long ball team. The same thing with Palace. Palace have Zaha, Iberieze, Schlupp, Townsend. They have a lot of attacking players, and they put it on when they can. So sometimes I think it depends on who they're playing. But you think, I understand what you mean with. I think out of those teams, I think personally, player for player, I think Brighton kind of struggle in terms of they have one player there that's wonderful, and then they have someone known, yada yada yada. And I kind of give Graham Potter credit for that because the team he took over, yes, he has some good quality players, but he seems like he's with out of all of them are doing miracles, but he seems to be doing the most miracle. Who do you go for, Steve?
It's a tough one.
All right then. So
No, I'm supporting you, kind of. I'm with you for now.
It's a tough one. For me, Sean Dice will be how can I say? He's got the least expanse in his tactics out of the four for me. So his team will be maybe two-dimensional. I won't see him using lots of formations and stuff. He just has a particular style of play, and I can't see him deviating far away from that. Yeah, Burnley played well on weekend just gone, but I just don't see that being over the course of a season. No matter if he's got unlimited resources. Hodgson, good manager. I just think he's a bit old, but
can't say that.
Don't be ageist.
What do you mean? The man's over 70. The man should be retired. In a normal position, he's not. I'm not being ageist.
Yeah, you are.
It's the truth.
You are.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a normal job. Being a football manager is not a normal job. You have board members that are like 80.
Yeah, but that's a board member. That's not sitting on a touchline.
He's too.
Right, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve. If Sir Alex Ferguson was still around, would you take him?
So Alex Ferguson left the game when he needed to leave the game.
If Sir Alex Ferguson was still around, would you take him, Steve?
He wasn't. Listen. Sir Alex Ferguson retired. He's chilling. Yeah. So no. So Royals is a good manager, and Dwayne made some good points about his experience, and tactically, he's all right, but I don't know. I'm kind of like, for me, it would be Potter first, Hodgson second, Smith third, Dyche fourth.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we should end it on that note. And just in case anybody out there is looking for a manager, who would you take between Big Mike, Big Steve, Dwayne, and me? Who would you take the number one manager? We'll find out.
Votes.
Then. Put the comments below. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, continue to follow Mr. Dwayne P. Frank on his predictions on YouTube. And we shall see you soon. It's goodbye and good night.